Welcome back to the Get Off the Treadmill podcast for small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we show you how to build a successful business and to have a life too. We're going to dive into another topic that helps us make more money in less time and to get off the treadmill so we can experience a life of significance. And now, your host and the author of the #1 best-selling business book, Making Money is Killing Your Business, Chuck Blakeman.
Today, I'm joined by Valerie Reid. She is a strategic and results-oriented leader with deep experience in advising growth, team leadership, and innovation. She spent over a decade at Deloitte advising Fortune 100 and 500 companies, advising and helping them drive results through practical strategies and collaborative execution. Today, Valerie is the CEO and founder of Simple Cremation USA, a national online platform connecting families with funeral homes. Valerie has successfully scaled this consumer-facing e-commerce business that really bridges both business to business and business to consumer. She's passionate about building value and turning new ideas into great results. Welcome, Valerie. It's great to have you with us today.
Oh, Chuck, it's a delight to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me today.
I'm excited about it. Today, we're going to talk about how we can stop hunting trees by finding lumberjacks. That's a pretty cryptic title. So let's break that down a little bit. You've been through a course we do called Fast Track. We're not here to advertise that, but you did get some great things out of that. And one of those was the concept of lumberjacks and the lumberjack buying system. Give us a quick overview of why that was helpful for you. What's the difference between finding lumberjacks and hunting trees?
Right. First of all, I have to admit I am a tree lover, so cutting down trees isn't my fave, but because we're only cutting down symbolic things, let me take it a step further. So, in sales and when you're building a business, you think you have to do it one by one by one by one. And that feels like, especially if you're building a greenfield business where you're just, building from the ground up, it feels almost insurmountable at times. How am I, the little old me, going to build one by one by one?
I can relate to that.
Right? And so when I heard about and you introduced the concept of the whole wood pile system, because we know we need to feed our business customers. We have to feed our customers value and always have that wood pile of customers ready. And then you go back to the notion that you have to do it yourself, one by one by one by one. And sometimes you're running to the fire and putting the wood in, and sometimes you got to go back. So when
Very tiring doing it by yourself.
It's tiring. And then sometimes that fire burns down, or then it's burning too far, and then you don't have anything else to put in it. You're really up a creek without a paddle. So the concept of having a lumberjack, a partner, a strategic partner in a related business that not only can help you in your business, but you have a benefit for them too. You're introducing them to maybe some of your clients or some of the business opportunities that would help them. That to me was just like amazing. It really, really opened my eyes to the leverage that every business needs to grow. You just cannot grow without leverage. You can't scale without leverage. And love that lumberjack idea.
Yeah, and I remember part of this came from working with a lot of other business owners. And part of it was just my own experience in networking. When I first started out, I did a lot of networking. I don't have to do that anymore. But I remember going to these networking events and hunting one tree at a time, one customer at a time. Mm-hmm. And how tiring that was. It worked. I could find a customer, but then I had to go right back down to the forest and chop another tree down. And it just got to be really old. And I'm a slow learner, but after a year of doing that, it dawned on me that there were people in these networking groups that had all the clients I want. Right. And they weren't competitive with me.
Mm-hmm. That's
well, why would I go hunt each customer by itself when there's Bob? Bob has 150 of the people that I want. What if I just got to know Bob and figured out a reason why Bob and I could pass customers back and forth? Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons I don't have to go to networking events anymore. I found a few Bobs. So yeah, the lumberjack is someone who's been to the forest. They've cut down all the trees. They stacked and stacked and dried the relationships. They seasoned the relationships. Mm-hmm. And now they're just going to pass this trusted relationship along to you and say, hey, trust me. You'll like Valerie.
Mm-hmm.
What a different place to start with a connection than, hey, I don't know who Valerie is, so I'm going to be suspicious in our first meeting.
Mm. Well,
So how has working with Lumberjacks practically changed your approach and the time and energy you put into marketing and sales?
well, yeah, it's a great point. So if you do have what we call would be a cold lead, it takes a number of touches to warm that lead up. And what it is, the game that maybe you played, well, I certainly played, hopscotch, where you just jump over a couple of squares, and that's what a lumberjack is. I mean, you can jump right to the point of trust because you bring the trust with you through the door.
Yeah.
You're getting a warm referral in terms of introduction email, or at least you have the person's name and their intention. They know that person, you know that person, and that's what I loved about it. Just it really cut down the time that I could have that meaningful conversation with the individual and say, is this a fit? Is this going to help your business? Which is really what we're here for. We're not selling, we're just trying to sort and find the people that want our services.
Yeah, and the lumberjack concept, there's a fancy psychobabble word for it, transference.
Aha.
And
Okay.
transference is simply if Valerie likes Chuck and Valerie likes, we'll say Bob. Bob doesn't know Chuck, but Bob knows Valerie. And
Mhm.
Bob really likes Valerie. And Valerie says, I like Chuck. Well, if Bob respects and trusts Valerie's word, and she says, hey, trust me, you're going to like this guy, Chuck. I could call Bob every day for a week and he wouldn't even pick up the phone.
Right.
I could send him a video and he still wouldn't pick up the phone. Even if I met him at a networking event, he might suspiciously have a cup of coffee with me, with his guy.
Mm.
But if Valerie says, hey, Bob, meet with Chuck. You're crazy if you don't meet with Chuck. You might want to figure out if he can help you with your business. Boy, think of the difference how Bob approaches me. And I've had that happen. I know you have had it as well. Hey, how did you meet this person? And they'll say, oh, well, Sally said I should talk to you. And I trust Sally. So you start with trust.
You start with trust, yes. As you're talking, what was coming up for me was the whole kind of take it back tens of thousands of years to when the whole tribal concept was the way we were rolling. And we wanted to keep out danger, and danger were certainly people or predators that we did not want in our tribe. And it goes that deep, I think, in
Oh,
terms
it
of
does. We're still hunting mastodons in our head. So everybody, when we go to a networking group, we're thinking survival.
yeah.
How do I make sure I don't die in this environment? Now, it takes different forms, but absolutely, we have not evolved enough in that regard.
Well, we go back to our primitive wiring,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
it's the same with Google reviews, right? I mean, if you did a 1 star and a 5 star, we're hunting the tribal juju that says, "Yep, they're good, so you're good." I'm like, okay, great. I don't want to make a mistake, so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
it is about trust. And it's the number one asset. This is free, no extra charge to our listeners, but somebody asked me, well, what's the greatest asset in business? And I think they expected me to say people or intellectual knowledge or your market or your financial strength. And I immediately said trust. And
Mm.
without trust, all those other things I just mentioned don't matter.
No, it really, really doesn't matter. Yeah, and you really have to rely on your products, your services, and they need to rely on you. So yeah,
And I
no.
can spend 3 to 6 months to 2 years building trust with Bob, or
Mm.
I can just have Valerie refer Bob to me and he automatically trusts me until I give him a reason not to. It's just the opposite.
Right,
So
right.
both, it cuts so much off of the whole, I love your hopscotch analogy. You just skip so many squares doing it
Mm.
this way. And I'm ambitiously lazy. I say that all the time. Why work so hard? Why go through every square if I can skip 5 of them
Right. I
and
know.
still get a better result?
And they also, the lumberjacks have a different worldview as well. Not only do they know people that you don't know and that they could
Yeah.
you to, you could also reciprocate as well. But they also have ideas, and their products are, as we said, they're not necessarily competitive, but you can then create new adventures with your lumberjack as well. And they can introduce you and you can introduce them to lumberjacks that would benefit you all. So you're building this wider circle.
Yeah, and that's an important concept that you just talked about there, because when we're thinking about world of scarcity, if you met somebody else who was in the business of referring people to funeral homes,
Right.
you might automatically see them as a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have this new world where you work with lumberjacks, the best strategic referral partners are almost always someone who are very close to our industry or actually in our industry or profession. It's
Right.
just the opposite. So have you experienced anything like that where people who might have been a little put off by you, or you might have been a little hesitant with them in the past, you realize, man, this is right in the middle of what I should be looking at. I should be chasing the people I used to think of as my competitors and think about how to make lumberjacks out. Have you had any experiences like that?
I have. I mean, when I look at people and I think, well, where could we connect? I always look and see where there could be a win for them and a win for me. And at first you're thinking, wait a minute, we are in the same industry and that doesn't make any sense until you embrace this concept that you could serve each other because you know a mutual party that you're serving, the funeral homes, for example. And even looked at both from the folks that are serving funeral homes exclusively, who might be threatened by us, or they can see that we can help enhance the services of the funeral home and increase their business as well. So it's a conversation that doesn't usually come first to mind, but when you're embracing the concept of a lumberjack, it really does.
So with this in mind, for you specifically, your business is helping people find funeral homes that do cremation and
Correct.
referring them. And in that context, who have you found that has actually been, what industries, what professions have you found that actually are good referral partners for you because they already have all those clients? You don't have to go find one at a time.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. You have folks that have pre-arrangement insurance, so they know funeral homes, right? That's one concept. You have people who are in touch with both funeral homes and customers. Those are hospices, for example. So they're right in the thick of things. And then you have other partners who serve funeral homes, serve them in terms of the things that they need, urns and the paper products and the supplies there. Those are some of the areas that, we're both serving similar client bases, and it's been very fruitful to have conversations with them.
As you're talking, this is a new blinding flash of the obvious for me, and I've been teaching this stuff for 20 plus years. One of the things that you just alliterated for me was basically that you're connecting with other people who have spent all kinds of time and money and energy marketing for years to find the 150 to 200 to 300 to 500 people in their database. And you're just taking advantage of all that marketing they did by becoming their friend and figuring out how you can actually refer people to them and back and forth. It just saves you so much time, money, and energy to go after the lumberjack instead of the 300 people in that person's database.
Right. And again, if you take it back, I have 22-year-old twins who just graduated from college, and they had different set of. Right, thank you. So one twin had, went to college in a different state. The other one went to college locally. So they just had a big birthday party of the weekend, and they brought together their friends. It's a similar concept. I have a whole bunch of funeral homes that I know. They have a whole bunch of funeral homes that they know. Wouldn't we like to share acquaintances and, broaden our mutual network? So you can take it down to that level as well. I think that's.
And even if they're exactly the same kind of business, we would all be surprised how often we find out, oh, you do that bit? Oh, I never want to do that bit or talk to those kinds of people. Anytime I get those people or do that bit, I'm sending them to you and vice versa. So it's the 80-20 rule, even if they're in the same business. I remember, I've lost track of these guys, but we helped some people get this through Fast Track, and these 5 different accountants met together for once a month and it was at least for a couple of years. And they were all small business accountants. You would think that's nuts. But what they found was the nuanced differences between all of them. You do with these customers, I don't play with those customers. And they just they learned how to help each other with accounting and with marketing. They lived in a world of abundance, and they passed customers back and forth, and they didn't have to go to the networking events.
I know, right? I mean, and when you think about all the value that you are providing for your customers, that's what I love about it. I mean, we have a number of lumberjacks. We're putting together some affiliate programs that folks that are in the disposition business. So when you have cremation, you have cremains, you can do so many things with it. And they have connections to funeral homes, they may have connections to customers, and we're putting our customers in their hands if they so choose and providing the service to them. And in turn, they are also introducing us to their own connections within the funeral industry. So it's a win-win all around.
Well, we've just scratched the surface. I love the concept of lumberjacks and being ambitiously lazy and chasing those instead of chasing trees. Let's build a relationship with 3 to 5 lumberjacks instead of 400 or 500 networking people, and let's see how much easier that is. How can people get a hold of you if they want to talk more about this, or if they want to learn about your business, Simple Cremation USA? How do people get a hold of you?
Oh, well, absolutely. Our website is very simple. You can see it up there. And in terms of the name, it's www.simplecremationusa.com. And if you'd like to call me up, please do. Our number is 1-866-333-5130, and you will get to me there.
Valerie, this has been fun. Keep growing your business, and let's keep hunting those lumberjacks.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
That wraps up another episode of the Get Off the Treadmill podcast. If you found this podcast helpful, please subscribe and hit the like button to ensure you are receiving the latest tools you need to grow your business and to get off the treadmill. If you want more information on the 3 to 5 Club, the Crankset Group, or to book Chuck as a business advisor, speaker, or workshop leader, you can contact us at grow@cranksetgroup.com. Until next time, have a great week.